My name is Daniel, and for the longest time, I believed marriage was built on compromise. I worked hard, provided for my family, and tried my best to be a good husband. But nothing prepared me for the cold, calculated way my wife, Laura, decided to turn intimacy into a bargaining chip. It started subtly. She'd brush off my attempts at closeness with excuses about being tired, stressed, or not in the mood. I understood at first. Work could be draining, and marriage wasn't always a fairy tale. But over time, the excuses transformed into rules. Clear, sharp, demeaning rules. One night, after I tried to hold her hand while we watched TV, she pulled away and sighed. Daniel, we need structure. Intimacy can't just happen whenever you feel like it. From now on, it'll be on a schedule. I stared at her, thinking she was joking. A schedule? Laura, we're not talking about a dentist appointment. But she was deadly serious. Yes, a schedule. Twice a month. And if you've been good, helping around the house, paying bills on time and treating me right, you'll earn it. If not, then no intimacy. Her words hit me like a slap. I couldn't believe the woman I married. The woman who once couldn't wait to hold me, kiss me, love me, was now treating affection like a reward system. My chest tightened as she leaned back on the couch, proud of her new arrangement. This way, she continued, we both know what to expect. You won't be bothering me, and I won't feel pressured. It's fair. Fair. The word echoed bitterly in my mind. How was it fair that I gave her my loyalty, my time, my effort, only to be told I had to earn scraps of intimacy like a child earning allowance? That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully beside me. My thoughts twisted between anger and heartbreak. I had never felt so humiliated in my own home. But then, somewhere between the silence and the sting of betrayal, an idea formed. If intimacy was going to be transactional, then so would money. If love had to be earned, then so did the lifestyle I provided. And by the time the morning sun crept through the blinds, I was ready with my reply. One that would flip her smug little system upside down. The next morning, I got up earlier than usual. Laura was still in bed scrolling through her phone, her hair messy, a smug little smile playing on her lips as if she'd already won some twisted battle. I brewed my coffee, sat across from her, and spoke with a calmness that even surprised me. Laura, I've been thinking about what you said last night. About intimacy being on a schedule, and only if I've earned it. She barely looked up. Good. I'm glad you're finally being reasonable. I nodded slowly, then set my coffee mug down with a deliberate tap. You're right. We should make things fair. From now on, money will work the same way. You'll get access to it on schedule, if you earn it. Her phone slipped from her hand. What are you talking about? I leaned back in my chair, keeping my tone even. The house, the utilities, the groceries, the little luxuries you enjoy. It all comes from my paycheck. And since you believe affection should be a reward, I've decided money should be too. So here's the deal. You'll get an allowance twice a month. If you've been good, respectful, supportive, and treating me right, you'll earn it. If not, no money. The shock on her face was priceless. Her lips parted as if searching for the right insult, but nothing came out. For the first time in years, she looked powerless. You can't be serious, she finally whispered. Oh, I'm very serious, I said. Because what you proposed last night wasn't about fairness. It was about control. And I won't live like that. So if intimacy has to be earned, then so does financial support. Her cheeks flushed red with anger. That's not the same thing, Daniel. You're weaponizing money. I tilted my head. And what exactly were you doing with intimacy? You reduced it to a transaction. I'm just following your example. She shot up from the bed, pacing the room like a cornered animal. You can't just cut me off. I'll tell people you're abusing me. Her threat didn't sting. It only confirmed how far gone she really was. Go ahead, I said coldly. Tell them. I'll show them the schedule you proudly dictated last night. Let's see who looks cruel then. For the first time, Laura didn't have a smug comeback. Instead, she sank back into the chair, her arms folded, her face pale with fury. She had played her hand, and I had just shown her I could play the same game better. But I wasn't done yet. This was only the beginning of a new balance of power. The silence between us stretched for days. Laura tried pretending nothing had changed, but every time she reached for the credit card or opened the fridge, the reality hit her. Money was no longer freely flowing. On the first Saturday after my announcement, she came storming into the kitchen. "Daniel, this is ridiculous. The cable bill is due. I can't even buy groceries without asking you first. Do you realize how humiliating this is?" I calmly stirred my coffee. "Yes, I do. That's exactly how I felt when you told me intimacy was something I had to earn. You reduced love to humiliation. Now you understand what it feels like." Her jaw clenched. "I never thought you'd be this cruel." I looked at her, my voice flat. Cruel is telling your husband he has to perform like a child to be worthy of affection. Cruel is taking everything he gives and still making him feel unwanted. Don't talk to me about cruel, Laura. For the first time, she didn't fire back. The fight in her eyes dimmed, replaced by something that almost looked like regret. Almost. But Laura was too proud to admit defeat outright. Instead, she tried a softer tactic. "Daniel, maybe I went too far. Maybe the schedule wasn't fair. I felt overwhelmed, and I wanted control of something in my life." Her voice cracked ever so slightly, but I could see it. The manipulation beneath the surface. I leaned forward, my tone sharp. "No, Laura. This isn't about being overwhelmed. This is about you wanting power, and when you realized you couldn't have it, you tried to rewrite the rules of marriage. But marriage isn't about control, it's about respect. Something you stopped giving me a long time ago." She stared at me, her lips trembling, but I didn't waver. Finally, I stood up and walked toward the door. "You wanted a marriage where everything was earned? Congratulations. You got it. But you won't like how it feels when the man you thought was weak decides to stop playing your game." That night, I packed her bags. When Laura came home from her so-called girls' night, they were waiting at the door. She froze, her eyes wide. "What is this?" she whispered. I smiled coldly. "Your schedule ran out, Laura. It's over." Her face crumbled, and for the first time, she looked small, fragile, and utterly powerless. But it was too late. I closed the door behind her and, for the first time in years, breathed freely. Because I finally understood. Respect isn't earned through schedules or control. It's demanded by walking away when someone refuses to give it.